Good communication means language proficiency. It's a popular idea, but it's actually an incomplete truth and has been misleading people for a long time. Command of language, such as grammar and vocabulary, helps, but effective and optimized communication is a lot more than just words. Let's try to understand it. Why do people believe this myth? We've been taught that good vocabulary and fluency means someone is intelligent and has strong communication skills. Sometimes a person who uses simple words to speak can influence and connect deeply, while someone using advanced vocabulary can end up confusing others and simply cannot connect with others. While language is a skill, it represents only a superficial layer of ability. You can impress someone with your expertise in language, but it may not stay long if you fail to build a human connection. We teach effective communication because it gets you what you aim for. Not just this, it makes you more respectable and helps you live peacefully. Effective communication goes deeper. So, what makes a person an effective communicator? First and foremost, good communicators are always good listeners. I truly believe that listening is the most important of all the communication skills. Good listeners listen actively when others speak. They give space to others. They try to pick up emotions and respond accordingly. It helps connect. Otherwise, sometimes an interaction becomes a monologue. Therefore, listening well is deeply linked to empathy. Number 2. I often draw on the Mehrabian model, which indicates that words account for just 7% of our communication. Remaining 93% is accounted for by our tone and body language, including facial expressions, gestures, and posture. Body language includes your facial expressions, gestures, posture, and a lot more actually. Wrong body language and tone can harm personal and professional relationships by conveying negative impressions like disinterest, insecurity, defensiveness, or even dishonesty. It can create barriers to effective communication, lead to misunderstandings, and undermine your credibility. Number 3. There should be a focus on being understood rather than having a desperate need to impress others. Therefore, communication should be clear and unambiguous. There should be minimum room for confusion. Sometimes we feel that complicated language makes us look impressive. It's not so. Let me explain with the help of an example. This statement, I would appreciate your prompt submission of the report, may impress somebody for the level of English that's been used here. But it's not clear. Now look at this statement. Please submit the report by 5 p.m. Simple language, clear, clarity. The instruction is clear. The person who's receiving the message knows what exactly is expected from that person. So this sentence is far better than the previous sentence. Number 4. Timing matters. Good communicators don't just know what to say and how to say. They know when to say. When matters as much. Time determines whether the message is relevant and whether it is well received. The same sentence can appear supportive or offensive depending on the timing of the delivery. Number 5. What makes a person a good communicator? Last but not least, I believe good communication also means knowing what not to say. Even well-intended words can sometimes cause offense. People with high emotional intelligence anticipate, they know what can be sidestepped in interactions and protect themselves from adverse outcomes. For example, when a friend is dealing with a major business setback, proposing a social gathering, a party, might not be appropriate. It is otherwise okay, fine, welcome, But in this case, it can be offensive. So finally, what good communication actually means? Good communication is equal to clarity plus connection plus understanding. So now we know good communication isn't about speaking perfectly. It's about being understood completely.